Most people think confidence is about being the loudest person in the room, having the perfect comeback, or faking it till you make it. But that's not confidence. That's a performance. And performances are fragile. True. Psychological confidence isn't about how others see you. It's about how you see yourself when no one is watching. Today on MindDecoded, we are going beyond the surface. We're decoding the brain chemistry of certainty, the competence loop, and the 10 psychological shifts that will make you truly unshakable. If you've spent your life feeling like an impostor, today that ends. The myth of fake it till you make it. We've all heard the advice, just pretend to be confident. But your brain is smarter than that. When you fake confidence, your amygdala, the brain's fear center, actually becomes more active because it senses a gap between your reality and your act. This creates impostor syndrome. Genuine confidence is built on cognitive congruence. It's when your internal state matches your external actions. We'll explore why honesty with yourself is the first step to standing tall, and why admitting what you don't know is actually the ultimate power move. The competence loop. Confidence is not a feeling. It's a memory of success. In psychology, we call this the self-efficacy cycle. You take a small risk, you achieve a small win, and your brain logs that as evidence of your ability. The mistake most people make is waiting to feel confident before they start, but action comes before the feeling. We'll show you how to engineer micro wins to trick your brain into building a permanent foundation of self-belief. The spotlight effect. Why are we so self-conscious? Because of a cognitive bias called the spotlight effect. We believe everyone is noticing our flaws, our mistakes, and our stuttering. But here's the cold, liberating truth. No one is thinking about you. They are too busy thinking about themselves. Once you realize that everyone else is also worried about their own spotlight, the pressure vanishes. You gain the freedom to be yourself, which, ironically, is exactly what makes you look more confident to others. Body language. The feedback loop. Your mind changes your body, but your body also changes your mind. We'll look at the proprioceptive feedback, how holding a powerful posture for just 2 minutes can lower your cortisol, stress hormone, and increase your testosterone, the dominance hormone. But we aren't talking about power poses in the bathroom mirror. We're talking about open posture and controlled movement. Learn why moving 10% slower and taking up physical space signals to your nervous system that you are safe and in control. Outcome independence. The ultimate secret of the unshakable is outcome independence. Most people are nervous because they are desperate for a specific result. They need the job, they need the date to go well, they need to be liked. The truly confident person is detached from the result. Their value isn't tied to a yes or a no. We'll teach you the psychological shift of, whatever happens, I'll handle it. When you stop fearing the no, you become the most powerful person in the conversation. The inner dialogue, from critic to coach. We all have an inner critic, but did you know you can reprogram that voice using cognitive reframing? Instead of saying, I hope I don't mess this up, confident people say, I am curious to see how I handle this. It's a subtle shift from anxiety to curiosity. Curiosity is a state of growth. Anxiety is a state of survival. We'll show you how to audit your internal language to stop sabotaging your own potential. Radical self-acceptance. You cannot be confident if you are at war with yourself. True confidence includes your flaws. It's the ability to say, yes, I'm not perfect at this yet, and that's okay. By owning your vulnerabilities, the Eminem effect from 8 Mile, you take away the power of others to use them against you. When you are comfortable with your imperfections, you become bulletproof. The power of no. Building on our first video, confidence is measured by your boundaries. A person who can't say no is a person who doesn't trust their own value. Every time you say yes when you mean no, you lose a piece of your self-respect. We discuss why saying no is the highest form of self-confidence. It signals that your time and energy are valuable, and people instinctively respect those who respect themselves. Here are the translated chapters for your script, professionally adapted for your English-speaking audience on MindDecoded. The neurobiology of courage focus, the amygdala, and the prefrontal cortex. Confidence is not the absence of fear, it is the management of it. In this chapter, we look at what happens inside your brain the moment you step outside your comfort zone. We'll discuss how to cool down your amygdala, the brain's fear center, by consciously engaging your prefrontal cortex. We'll introduce the 5-second rule from a neurological perspective. By taking action within 5 seconds, you prevent your brain from having the time to build scenarios that paralyze you. You will learn how to convert anxiety energy into excitement energy, a psychological process known as anxiety appraisal. Enclothed cognition, the psychology of appearance. Focus, how what you wear influences how you think. While true strength comes from within, we cannot ignore the exterior. Enclothed cognition is the psychological phenomenon where the clothes you wear change your actual cognitive processes. Studies show that wearing a lab coat can make your focus sharper. Wearing clothes that make you feel powerful can actually shift your hormone levels. This isn't about expensive brands or fashion trends. It's about symbolism. We'll discuss how to assemble a confidence uniform that signals to your brain that it's time to perform. You aren't dressing for others. You are dressing as a psychological anchor for yourself. Low status versus high status signals. Focus. Subtle social cues. In every interaction, we subconsciously send signals about our own status. People with low self-esteem often make themselves physically smaller, speak faster to save time for the other person, or laugh excessively to diffuse tension. Truly confident people broadcast high-status signals. They are comfortable with silences, they maintain steady eye movements, and they aren't afraid to show their hands. We will decode the subtle mistakes that unconsciously undermine your authority and show you how small adjustments in your speaking rhythm can give your words immediate weight. The anti-fragile mindset. Focus. Growth through resistance. Most people want to be resilient. They want to bounce back after a hit. But the ultimate form of self-confidence is being anti-fragile. This is a concept by Nassim Taleb, systems that actually get better from chaos and stress. We'll explain how to reframe failure as data acquisition. An anti-fragile person isn't afraid to make a mistake because they know that every error makes their mental system stronger. Confidence isn't the belief that you won't fall. It is the absolute certainty that you will rise up stronger. Conclusion and the 24-hour challenge. Confidence isn't a destination, it's a practice. Your challenge for day 4 is to do one thing that makes you slightly uncomfortable purely for the sake of doing it. Prove to your brain that you can survive the spotlight. If you're ready to build a version of yourself that doesn't need external validation, hit subscribe. Tomorrow for day 5, we're going deep into the psychology of focus, how to achieve more in 2 hours than most do in a week. This is Mind Decoded. Own your power.